Hey, what's going on, guys? Limitless Starcraft. Welcome back to my channel, and this is the game 3 of Best of 5 series I'm casting right now. Our two players introducing first is from Team Azubu. He is our blue Korean Terran player, and his name is Supernova. Now, in our bottom left corner is our red Protoss from Team SK Telecom. It is our Korean player Rain. Now, on this map, this is Whirlwind, so as you can tell, spawns are random, so they're going to have to go out and scout a little bit, maybe get lucky and scout in the right direction. Now let's talk about the first two games here. First two games were fairly standard. First game went well for Supernova. Rain looked like he was pushing pretty well with Colossus, and then switched over to more of a mortal build, and then was able to hold on for a little while, but eventually with the ghost out and honestly lackluster storms on Rain's part, Supernova was able to win and tech up pretty quick, and his bio build completely overran Rain. Now in the second game, it was on Anaconda, and that was a really good game. We actually saw a different build from Rain, and it was a 2-base Immortal Sentry push, and he first faked it and got Supernova to build a little too much, in my opinion, as far as defense. He threw down 2 bunkers, got some Widow Mines, and then Supernova just backed off for a little bit as Rain pulled back his units, and then eventually Rain pushed in and it completely overwhelmed Supernova. It was a valiant try, and like I said, both games were good, but let's go ahead and talk about this game. Now, neither player has begun to scout. We have quick gateway cybernetics core tech going up for Rain, and for Supernova, looks like the same opening as game 2, where he's going CC first and then getting his barracks. Actually getting the second barracks now too before gas, so this is interesting. Maybe he might go for a marine push if he doesn't get his gas here in the next minute. Rain is probably sending out his probe. May get an early. Yep, there we go. Nexus pretty quickly. And since this map is so big, it's a 4-player map. Both players can afford to go ahead and get their early expansion up fairly quickly, establish an economy, and then work on, trying to find each other, which they are going to do now. Both players scouting in the right direction, so not one player is going to have the advantage. And Mothership Core just now spawning out, and 2 barracks right now still coming up. No gas is still for Supernova, so don't know what he's thinking right now. Rain is going to see this, so he's going to know what's up. He's going to prep accordingly. I think he's just going to try to keep his probe alive as long as possible, just to see if he can, scout that tech. And it looks like Supernova is trying to push his probe out as soon as possible, as he wants to quickly develop what he's going to do and try to catch Rain by surprise. And no tech going down just yet for Rain. Would be interesting to see if he is going to go DTs like he did in the previous game, which worked out really well. Doesn't look that way. It looks like he's going robotics facility first, and we're probably going to see an observer come out first, and then we're going to see whether or not Rain is going to go for the typical Colossus play, or he's going to go for the strong Immortal push. Got a 3rd CC going down, and I believe Supernova is actually playing pretty greedy mineral-wise. He's getting a 3rd barracks up, getting a 3rd CC, and he can't afford to do this. He is getting both gases now, and he can't afford to do this because it looks like he's about to apply some pressure, which will give him enough time to go ahead and get that 3rd CC built, and then begin to get his gas up and start teching to his choice, which will probably just be more of the same thing. Marine Marauder standard play. 2 more. Nope, just 1 more gateway going down. Forge going to be used for either that +1 armor or +1 attack. And let's see. Looks like the Stalker's just patrolling out here. Honestly, if Supernova were to push right now, I think he'd have a good chance of getting some damage done. Yeah, there is enough energy for a photon overcharge, but he could easily pick off the Stalker and the 2 sentries with no problem, walk up the ramp, skip that photon overcharge and try to come in here and do some probe damage. But Supernova doesn't know, of course, doesn't want to throw away his scans right now to scan the base. Just wants to use that up for mules. And bunker going down in the front. Was a good choice since bunkers can't be salvaged to get your minerals back. There is really no risk in just putting those down and as many as you want. Because protest early aggression is hard. It is a very strong thing to deal with. Third CC now lifting off. We got the observer now coming in. Factory just being thrown down. And I thought the Marines kind of caught a glimpse of that observer for a moment, but did not. Stin just now being researched. And a couple more gateways being thrown down. No immortal or Colossus tech yet. Server will scout this third base going down. Let's see how Rain will react, if he'll react accordingly. And because of the Stalker here, this could mislead Supernova into thinking that Rain might be going for a third base of his own, which actually is going to happen. But Rain is a little late, so it's going to take him a little while to get that economy going. Where Supernova is going to have a huge advantage for the next 2-3 minutes. Starport going down, another armory, engineer and bay. So Supernova playing very nicely as far as the macro game is going, getting his +1 weapons. He's going to work on his upgrades as quickly as possible. Got a random turret just being placed here in the middle of the map. That could be a good or a bad thing. Will be used probably just to pick off any observers floating around, or if Supernova's a little worried about DTs like last game, they kind of screwed him up a little bit. Mind games being played. First Colossus is out on the way, and Robotics Play is getting Thermal Lands upgrade. And we probably have, okay, we're going with Blink first instead of Legs. That's an interesting tech choice right there. Blink Play is very aggressive, especially to catch the dropships off guard. Coming into your base, you can just blink forward and pick them off, and really put the Terran in a bad position. Another bunker going down right here for the third. Starport just about to get out its first dropships, and from now on it will just be probably a steady production. The Marine Marauder dropship combination until the later parts of the game, where the Ghost Academy will come into play pretty soon. A couple more barracks. Drops are just now being sent out. We'll see. Rain's got good observer placement, and looks like that's just a little bit out of range, so that will not be scouted. And we got one Colossus sitting out here in the middle of the map. This dropship might do some pretty good damage to this third expansion. Observers are in good positions, but it looks like Supernova actually might skip by. Oh no, just got spotted there. I was gonna say that would have been the most perfect, route for those dropships. Like he would have had map hack or something. Those dropships might have to lift off. Yeah, there it goes. The Colossus there is just a little too intimidating for just a handful of Marines Marauders. And now we have the Ghost Academy. So I don't see any Templar of the Archives going down just yet. Just now. So the Ghost Academy is up, and by the time that he gets out Templar and Storm, the Ghost should have enough energy for the snipes and should be in a pretty good position as far as catching Rain off guard. That's the key. This time and game of the metagame of Starcraft 2 for TVP, it's back and forth with the Ghost and the Templars. If the Protest player can get all those really nice storms and catch the bio off guard, or if the Ghost can be used correctly to snipe the High Templar and march in his bio. Now this is a lot of Colossus going on right now. Viking count is steady. He's only got 2 out, but I believe he's only producing out of 1 starport right now. So on top of producing Vikings, he is sacrificing the ability to produce more dropships. Always a good idea, definitely 12 minutes into the game, to go ahead and throw down that second starport. Resources. See, Supernova is ahead by almost 20 supply. I got a Hellbat, got a Ghost. Hellbats are always a good addition. You don't have to build too many of them. Rain might scout this push, just starting to come out. Now this is pretty scary force right here. It's a nice unit composition right here for Rain too. And we got 5 High Templars actually right now, and we do have enough for Storm. Now let's see how effective. Storm is just about to finish, so he's just got to hold in just for a moment, which actually might be a little too late for the start. He might just come in, sack this base, and just take off. Not focusing down the Nexus though, which is the bad idea for Supernova. Zealot's coming in from behind, the Stalker's trying to come in. Nice little storm there. The second one was a little bit wasted. Time warp going down on the ramp, which is nice play, but it's also looks like third will go down. Units coming in trying to be reinforcement, but they're just being walked into a valley of death by the Colossus. This whole army actually gets cleaned up here, with the exception of a few, which are being dropped inside the main base. Rain weapon units, constant reinforcements coming up, but Supernova's got to be careful not to be sloppy as he was with his first few bit of reinforcements, because he did lose those very quickly. Okay, so that entire army got cleaned up. The Supernova, even though he was down 30 supply, he was able to sack that third base, and that's a big thing, especially now with the the main base going to be mined out here in the next couple of minutes. He needs that third base, and he is reestablishing it. It's just going to put him behind just a little bit. And Supernova surprisingly doesn't seem too far ahead in economy, even with 3 bases. I mean, his resources are showing that he's down in supply. Still down by 30 supply. With that kind of economy, he should be able to catch up pretty quickly, but he's not. Alright, let's look at the units lost. And very bad for Supernova right now. Let's see what this probe is doing. We're going to sneak in a pylon. It's a good idea. Be able to ransack this base. I mean, one bunker is going to defend it just for a little bit, but not against, plus, I believe 2. He should be at 2 right now. No, just 2 armor, 1 attack for Protoss right now. And the Colossus also get that. And we got a few Archons out. Gonna be pretty effective. 2-2 is done. And should be working on 3-3. Ship plating. And infantry, yep. Okay. So I want to know what you guys think. David, Kim, and a few of the pro players were going over balance issues with this game, and they were talking about for the Terran army, which would help out a lot of people, but it's a little bit questionable. Is doing their mech upgrades as one instead of just separating them, the armor and the ship weapons. So essentially it would be tank +1 would be you would get the upgrade for the Vikings as well for their +1 attack, instead of having to separately do as ship weapons and then ground mech +1 attack. From my point of view, I think that would actually be a strategic idea, considering I actually enjoy when Terran goes mech play. It's something different. I get a little bored of the biomine combination, as it is it's not overpowered, but it's very effective, and since it's so effective, Terran has a tendency to use it all the time. So I'd like to see the mech. Good snipes right here, actually very good snipes. Sniped out 3 of them right there, and I think it would force Terran to try mech out a little more, especially getting those upgrades very early. Gotta be careful. Storm those ghosts there. Caught one Templar. It's a little back and forth. 4th base just going down. Zealot's warping in right now, trying to sack that 3rd base. Looks like the SCVs were cleaned up right there. So actually, Supernova, I don't know what's going on with him. He's actually in a pretty bad position right now. He lost a lot of his workers. Main is mined out. Natural. Did I miss something? Or did he SCV pull? Okay, he SCV pulled. I was gonna say, I thought DGs ran into the base and like completely devastated his economy or something. Rain is doing some very nice storms on those SCVs. I mean, now he has no ability to go back to his base and continue mining. I mean, the production for Supernova is completely done, and that was a very quick GG. Pulling those SCVs, it works in some cases, but you can't do it every game. I think that was the 3rd game in a row in this series that Supernova's pulled all of his SCVs up the line to try to finish him, and it's not a good idea to keep doing that every game. Maybe he'll learn his lesson in Game 4, as Rain is leading 2-1. We'll see you guys for Game 4. Stay tuned.